No one warned me, because from the outside, everything looked perfect. He was polite, attentive, calm. The kind of person who listens without ever interrupting. And yet, from the very first moment, something inside me never fully relaxed. It wasn't fear. It wasn't anxiety. It was a quiet discomfort, a soft, constant signal like an alarm in the distance that never turns off. The first time I felt it, it was something small, a look that lasted a second too long, a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. I told myself, "You're overthinking." Because that's what we're taught to do, isn't it? To doubt ourselves before we ever doubt others. He never yelled, he never insulted me. He never raised his hand. But every single time he was close, my body tensed up for no clear reason. My chest tightened, my shoulders lifted, and I ignored it. I pushed it down because I wanted to believe in the perfect picture. That night, when I was finally alone, I felt it clearly for the first time. It was a voice, a feeling, saying, "Be careful." I couldn't explain it. I had absolutely no proof, only a feeling. And I made the worst decision of all. I silenced it. The signs didn't arrive all at once in some big, dramatic wave. They came slowly, like erosion, chipping away at me piece by piece. Small comments that felt slightly off, awkward silences that hung in the air, and moments where my own happiness seemed to bother him. And without even noticing, I began to change. I used to speak freely, without a second thought. Now I chose every single word with care. I used to laugh loudly, unapologetically. Now I lowered my voice, afraid of taking up too much space, and the worst part, I started to doubt myself, to question my own reality. When something made me uncomfortable and I finally gathered the courage to mention it, he would just smile calmly and say things like, "You're misunderstanding," or "That's all in your head," or "You always see problems where there are none." And I believed him. I believed him because he didn't look like a bad person. He was charming, and everyone around me kept saying, "You're so lucky." They saw the perfect exterior just like I was trying to. One night, I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I didn't recognize the person staring back. There were no screams, no bruises, but I was no longer there. And that's when I understood something incredibly painful. The deepest damage doesn't always leave visible marks. My intuition was no longer a quiet whisper. Now it was a heavy weight on my chest. It was a constant ache. That night, with my heart racing, I asked myself a question that changed absolutely everything. When did living in a state of constant alert become my new normal? There wasn't a big fight. There wasn't a dramatic betrayal. There was silence, a deep, profound silence where, for the very first time, I truly listened to myself. I understood something with absolute clarity. People can change their words, they can change their image, they can change their behavior, but they cannot change their essence. That's why my body knew long before my mind did. That's why my energy just kept fading away. I wasn't crazy, I wasn't imagining things. My body, my soul, my intuition, they were all just trying to protect me. Leaving wasn't easy. In fact, doubting myself hurt far more than doubting him ever did. But the moment I finally stepped away, the moment I chose myself, my body relaxed. It was like I could finally take a full, deep breath. My chest opened up. My breathing returned to normal. My intuition stopped hurting because it no longer needed to scream to be heard. Now I know this for sure, and I want you to know it too. Your intuition doesn't come to sabotage you. It comes to save you. It doesn't yell. It doesn't argue. It doesn't need to explain itself with spreadsheets and evidence. It simply warns you. And if you don't listen when it's speaking in calm, life will eventually force you to understand through pain. Listen to that quiet voice. It's the truest guide you'll ever have. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Take care of yourselves.